Hi, this is Margo. This is Saturday, June 30th, 2018, and today I'm just going to do a short update just to go over what's mainly with sulfur dioxide around the world in the last few days, and it's just dramatic to see all of it coming up, and the earth is spewing leaks. And we'll look at methane briefly, and we'll look at climate reanalyzer with the temperatures, and we're heading into a really tough time worldwide because of the heat and the heat index, and I feel like things are starting to collapse. So what we're looking at is the CAM's website, Copernicus Atmosphere Monitoring Service, and this is sulfur dioxide. And we have data back to actual data back to the 26th, and they've already got their data in for the 30th and uploaded into the database for sulfur dioxide. I like this plots view because it's actual data and you can watch it when it pops up on the map. So we're going back to the start of this time period, which is June 26th. This is actual data, and we have ongoing, we have Hawaii here. This has been emitting volcanic activity and sulfur dioxide and all of these toxic volcanic gases since May the 3rd. We have things going off constantly in Mexico. Here's Guatemala. We've got stuff now happening in the Galapagos. You'll see that pop up. You'll see something pop up in Brazil. You'll see we have something ongoing in Alaska. That's a highly active volcanic region. We have stuff going on in the Galapagos Islands. We have this constant thing going off in South Africa, and we had a volcanic explosion in Indonesia just yesterday, and you're going to see that. And we also have activity going on in the Antarctic. You can see, I can't move the hand thing because the picture will go back, but you can see the cream colored light down on the edge of the Ross Sea there on the Antarctic. So it's really dramatic to see all of this happening all at once. And I wanted to show this to you before the data gets buried. It's just so dramatic. So 3 days in a row we've had things just popping up here. So we're going to run this movie. And I know I just did an update a few days ago, but as things happen, I may have to do these updates closer together. That was Brazil. Now watch here, you're going to see something pop. There were 2 volcanoes that went off in the Galapagos, and now look over here and you're going to see Indonesia. There's the explosion that went off yesterday in Indonesia, and it's actual data through the 30th. Here's the 30th. They're on UTC time. So depending on where you are in the world, the 30th has already, they're way into the day. It's still morning for me. It's the 30th. And then we have this activity in the Antarctic. You can see. And that's usually a sign of geologic activity, and there's a lot of interest going on because the Antarctic is heating up really fast, and they're finding a lot of volcanoes under there. I talked about that last time in my last update. And just to clarify, this is not methane. This is sulfur dioxide. And someone tried to leave a post saying that I missed a big red methane thing coming up out of the Antarctic, and I did not. And so I deleted that post because I don't want any misinformation out there. There's not methane coming up out of the Antarctic. We can run that as well. Whatever that person saw, if there was purple in the middle, and that's very low on methane, but that is not red. And so I felt like that was disinformation trying to be left as a comment in my comment section, and so I took it down because I don't want disinformation. I'm here to show the truth. And so if you try and leave disinformation, and if I ask you, please post what time you saw that in the video so that I can look, and if you don't respond, your comment's going to be taken down, because I don't have time for this. I don't have time for people trying to say, oops, you missed this, you missed that. Yeah, I can't catch everything, but don't say, oh, there's methane spewing up out of the Antarctic, because there's not. If you think there is, you can do your own video. So there's sulfur dioxide. So let's look at methane now. So we're going to change our filter over here. Methane. This is the Arctic. And so just to show the Antarctic, we can either go South Pole, this is the Antarctic here, this is South America, this is the Antarctic. Here's the chart for the Antarctic, and there's no methane coming up out of the Antarctic. None whatsoever. And if we go to the Arctic view, I'm sorry, I meant the Antarctic view. There's an overall greenish tinge because we have methane all around the world, and it's about 1,800 parts per billion worldwide. It could be a little bit higher since we had that methane spike. I'll go ahead and run the movie for this. Let's go back. Let's make our base time back to the 26th. This is South America. Yes, there is methane coming off of South America, but not the Antarctic. And whoever is trying to put this disinformation out, they need to get their history straight too, and their facts straight, because from what I've read, the interior of the Antarctic is mainly desert. So we should not be seeing methane coming up off the Antarctic at all. And we don't. So I'm just running this movie just to show people, whoever was trying to leave that post, they were referring to something that was not methane, or they were trying to leave disinformation. And those posts are not going to be allowed. So, and if people challenge me, I'll look. If I miss something, I'm the first to say, yeah, I'll look. I missed something. This is South America. So there's the Antarctic. Just in case anyone happened to see that post until I took it down. So let's look at the Arctic region with methane, and then we'll look at worldwide also with methane. And we're having climate catastrophes around the world. Okay, we're going to run this movie. Let's take the most recent data and do the forecast from there. Scotland and England are really hot. They're seeing high temperatures. The methane is making things hotter. It's heating up the atmosphere. And United States is in a huge heat wave. So while that movie's running, let's get the global view of methane up. Here it comes. Plots. Now this defaults to total column. So this red is going all the way up, total column. So that's very serious. And then we're going to choose surface. And there's the surface level. And we'll go back to the start of the period. This is actual data from the 26th. Now, they don't have all of their methane data in yet for the 30th. So, the time period that they have is through the 28th. So, after the 28th, they're forecasting. They're using the computer to forecast where the methane is going to be, how it's going to be developing. So, and the Arctic is melting so fast, and that sea ice is melting so fast. And this is a very serious situation. And so, I'm not going to get people upset about the Antarctic if we don't have to be upset about that. Okay, we're going to run this movie now. Seeing the global. Let's just make it smaller so you can see everything. This is at surface level. Move that back up. So you can see for yourself, and it's extending more into the Atlantic Ocean. And it's just covering this whole England, Scotland, this whole area, and out of the ocean there, and Norway and Finland, and then Russia, the whole northern part of Russia, and of course Siberia. This is where the permafrost is melting, and then it's coming up out of the Arctic Ocean. Here's the Kara Sea, the Barents Sea, here's Novaya Zemlya, here's the East Siberian ice shelf. So this is very serious. Oops, I don't know why that happened. So you can run these for yourself and see what's going on. And let's look quickly at Climate Reanalyzer. This is the temperature for today, June 30th, Saturday, June 30th, worldwide. You can see it's very hot, and over the Arctic, it's even getting warmer. 0 is like this very aqua color, so only over one little part of the Arctic right there, that little island area, is it at 0, and then it's higher than that. And so this sea ice is melting very quickly. You can see around the coast that it's getting warmer as well. And the United States is very hot, and Africa is very hot. We can see this. And all you have to do is click and it gets to different views. This is the Antarctic. I wanted to get there. Here is Russia, Siberia, and you can see the heat coming up through there. And the anomaly, this is how much hotter it is than it should be as it goes to the darker brown and into red, then that's the temperature anomaly. South America, and they're in their cool season. It should not be that hot. And then there's problems in the Antarctic too. And let's look at the sea ice cover. There's the Antarctic. That's all. Right now, there's still lots of ice and snow down there. But it is melting, and they're finding volcanoes that are waking up. And here's the northern view. So I just wanted to do a short update, but mainly to show the sulfur dioxide. That was the main purpose for my video today, was to show the sulfur dioxide coming up. And also the ozone is, when you have all of this volcanic activity going on, this totally destroys the ozone layer. And so we have a lot of volcanic activity, and so these noxious gases are going up into the atmosphere. Plus we have all the nuclear power plants that are disrupting the creation of ozone. If you watch my ozone videos, I did 3 talking about ozone. And so this light blue is the thinning, and then it goes into green, and they say average is 300 DU, which is like the yellow with a little bit of green, but we're still getting baked. We're still getting baked, and even this 250 is still thin, 275 is thin, 220 is thin, or 225. And so we have all of this volcanic activity around the equator, and it's putting off all that sulfur dioxide and all the particulates that get caught up. And I'm thinking that this is one reason that the ozone layer is thinner around the equator, because especially now because of all of this volcanic activity. And you can see that it's way thinner over Indonesia. See, that's where the volcano went off yesterday. And see, it just moves around, it fluctuates. So let's look at briefly that sulfur dioxide again. It was so dramatic when I saw all of that. When you just see that a picture speaks 1,000 words. Seriously. Okay, I'm going to